9:30 in the morning, and I was thinking what I'm going to be talking about today. And then I thought, you know what? Let's get serious about bamboo. You've got spreading bamboo and you've got clumping bamboo. Those are the two we're talking about today. Big ones and small ones. Let's make breakfast fast. And then get out into the garden. Eggshells are microwaved. Ugh. And still kind of hot. And now. And yes, I eat 5 eggs in the morning, and I also microwave my scrambled eggs because I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to, having to clean a pan and another plate. So I just, in the bowl I'm whisking it in, goes into the microwave, and once in a while, mix it up. And then eventually you have your scrambled eggs. I'm just that lazy. It's always the same. People go into the gardens and, it's like a nice banana, but oh my god, I put it right next to. Don't forget to microwave them eggshells to be able to put them into the compost. And yes, I eat 5 eggs in the morning, and don't talk to me about cholesterol because of the fact it's a pile of shite anyway. So, and you know what? I do. I will. We have the internet these days. You have plenty of information out there. So before you start, putting things into the garden, you would want to find out what it actually is. Well, fudge. Well, at least I do. And you always have people like me who, well, actually, I don't think my videos are very informative. They're more or less me rambling on about stuff, about, what I should and should not be doing, or what I would want to be doing. Making scrambled eggs and, microwaving eggshells. It only takes a couple of months and sometimes a year or whatever, it depends what it is, and then all of a sudden you've got bamboo everywhere because of the fact that, you've been an idiot about it. And then you give the plant a bad reputation. I'm just trying to give you some information. You either take it on or you don't, and that's it. But today I'm going to be focusing on my bamboo because, you know what, I really, really need to dig the trench. So let's get all the stuff together for the job today. There's plenty of work to do at this time of the year. I should really be pruning, the trees and, gathering the leaves. I have been a really lazy ass about this. And, yeah, I guess today is just one of those days where you think, get off your fat ass and do something about it. In springtime, I'm probably going to be too lazy as well. And then all of a sudden you've got bloody bamboo all over the place, and the neighbors, you know what? Some of them I talk to, some of them I don't, and the ones I don't talk to, I don't want to give more ammunition to hate me. So let's briefly talk about the root system. The fibrous roots can go down round about 90 centimeters. Again, can. The rhizomes, which make the bamboo spread, they grow to round about 35 centimeter depth. So they're quite shallow. So obviously it makes sense that I dig my trench 45 centimeters just in case one of them suckers decides to go a little bit deeper than the other ones. But again, generally it's 35 centimeters. So if we're talking about the difference in between clumping and running bamboos, clumping bamboos have a patrimorph rhizome system, which means that new buds turn up and become canes immediately. So when we're talking about running bamboos, they've got a leptomorph rhizome system, which means that they don't turn up like they do with clumpers. They just push themselves underground for, it feels like 1,000 meters a day. And later, the buds produce the canes perpendicular to the rhizome. So ultimately what it means, you've got the rhizome shooting on, then you've got little buds, and they eventually turn into canes. You can plant one here, and all of a sudden 5 meters further down, you've got the canes shooting up. Because, as I said, it runs underground first, and then eventually the canes come up. I guess the idea is the first year it runs underground, then the second year the canes come up. And also with runners is because of their dual growth system, so you've got one shooting this way and the other one growing up, obviously they can cover far more ground than a clumper does. So if we're talking about clumpers and running bamboo, clumpers are fagaceous and runners are philiostachyses. Those are the most common ones when you go to a garden center. You also get other ones like pseudosacid, the one I have behind me here. It's also called the arrow bamboo. That is also a runner. It's not just the philiostachys. There are plenty of other ones too. But again, the most common ones in garden centers are philiostachys and fagaceous. If you want one of the big boys, they're always Philiostachys. Not that the Fagasias don't grow high, they can grow up to 4 or 5 meters. Absolutely, it depends again where you live. But the Philiostachys, those are the timber bamboos. They can grow to incredible heights, like 15 meters at point. Again, it depends where you live. As you can tell, it's getting kind of cold. So here we don't have them grow as quite as tall as that. I mean, I know one guy, I've been to his garden, and he has a Philiostachys huonwensiu in there, and he had it for 6 years, and that one grew to about 6 or 7 meters. That's the highest. They can, in their own country, get a hell of a lot higher, or in the climate they obviously prefer. However, you have to have a look again, like, so you know what grows in your area, what doesn't grow in your area. It's exactly the same. Fagasias are not necessarily just want to sit in full sun. There is some, for example, Fagasia scrapida, the one I have as well. I don't know why I say scrapida, but that's the way I say it. That one is far more tolerant to blazing sun than many of the other Fagasias are. Again, you need to have a look what kind of conditions you have in the garden. Another way people try to retain bamboos is in pots. So what they do, what I have done before as well, you buy these big ass pots, you know, usually they're done for building sites, you know, when you put mortar into it. So you buy those big mortar pots. You know, you put a couple of holes into it and you put the bamboo into it, because I mean obviously you need to put holes in the bottom, otherwise, you know, the water just stays in it. And as we said before, bamboo and water, no, don't like it. Obviously it likes it to get fed, but not sitting in water. Anyway, so, you know, people have been doing this, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're thinking, oh, this is fine, the bamboo is going to be, you know, it's going to be contained in the pot. Well, you know them holes you drill on the bottom? Eventually, it finds its way through there, and then it's in the ground. Well, the answer to the question is, can you put pots into the ground and successfully retain bamboos that way? Not really. And if it's, in my case, for instance, some neighbors I talk to, some neighbors I don't, it's not because I don't like them, it's because I've got nothing in common with them and I don't know what to say to them to begin with, and I've never actually seen them because I've got so much stuff growing everywhere. But that'll be the time you have a conversation with them. And it's not necessarily a good conversation, it's not necessarily a conversation you would want to have, because some of them end up in court. And I just see that neighbor's fence collapsed again. You can do it for a little while, but don't be surprised when the rhizomes find their way through the drainage holes, and then eventually, you know, you have them everywhere, and then your neighbors will have the joy of having your plants in their garden. Will a retaining wall contain my bamboo on my side? Again, it could. It depends how deep the foundation is. You know, nature finds its way. It does. I mean, as you can see, I've dug a trench around here already, but as usual, I was a lazy ass about it when it came to the end. So that part isn't actually deep enough. And this one has grown already, you know, towards the trench, and I had to cut it off. So I need to start digging a little bit more. Obviously, I'm going to be digging a hell of a lot more over there. I'm not going to film the entire digging, because how much can you watch someone dig in a trench? But some of it I shall. You just do that and bring the soil out that way. Another nifty little tool is the hoe. I don't know why it's called a hoe, and it's called a hoe, not a whore. Anyway, the hoe. What I do with this, because you know what? When you dig the trench, ravine, whatever, when you dig the damn thing, it is sometimes really difficult to get the earth out of the bottom, because obviously it's only the width of the spade. So you yank the spade up, and then you've got roots in between and all sorts of other stuff which grows kind of like out of this side. So the dirt keeps on falling down. So this is where a hoe comes in. And I don't know whether you can hear it, but the neighbors are arguing. They've been arguing for hours. Annoying little shitbags. And just in case if you're wondering, yes, it is as dull as it looks, but the good thing is you only do this once, and then obviously you keep on checking it that and obviously you keep on checking it that not too many weeds grow in it, or a dead cat is lying in it. I've got it with dead cats, haven't I? I did that with the composting thing as well. I don't know what's going on with that one. I've got a lot of cats shitting on my property, so I'm not the greatest fan of them. What? You have to dig through the boring shit to be able to get to where you're going far. You know what? Now it's only maintenance. Now we only, snip off the rhizomes when they come through. We pull out the dead animals, whichever ones they are, and some of the weeds that may grow in it. But that's it. So, just be a grown-up about it. Stop bitching and doing. Maybe I should listen to my own advice more often, huh? I'm gonna stop filming this now because you know what? This is like eye-gougingly boring watching me digging trench, ravine, whatever. And also, I'm panting like a pervert. I'm gonna have a look what I'm gonna do now. I'm not sure. Maybe I do some drawing or something. Or maybe I just play with myself. No, I won't. No. I don't know. Anyway. I'm sort of done, I think. I promise that I will show the whole thing once it's done. So this will be a promise until, well, I don't know if I'm going to get it done this year, guys.